Hi there, I'm Janne Ohtanen from Add Value to Me. We help entrepreneurs and business leaders to create better results through learning new skills and networking with like-minded people. Thank you so much for all the comments we have been receiving for the previous videos. It's great to see that so many people want to share their insights and their experiences so that other people on this website can learn from them. Also, thank you for all the encouraging messages that you have been sending using the Process Leader framework for getting higher revenues and improving your profit and improving your customer service by putting the customer in the center of the business processes. I started that journey over 10 years ago, first as an IT architect. We designed new software and tried to make as good software as we can, but it didn't take too long for us to notice that actually, besides the IT systems, you really need to have really good business processes. And when you align the business processes and IT systems, you have a powerful combination that will take care of doing efficient business. But it's not really enough, is it? Because as we have discussed, business strategy needs to be also aligned to customer strategy. So for your business, there has to be some reason why the customers pay and get excited and deal with your business. Otherwise, they're going to go somewhere else. So that's why you need to align IT systems, business processes to business strategy and also to customer strategy. And to make all those things to work together, you need to have a proper leadership in place which will run and make sure that all the people are in the right places doing the right things. And that requires proactive leadership. So what we have been able to see in last few years is, for example, telco case, which I have mentioned a few times before. Let me tell you just a little bit more about that case. Some time ago, we were called in to this telco company. They were losing market share even though they had one of the best technological innovations in the market. No other competitor had the same technological solution. And that solution could really help people to communicate together regardless of the communication medium. So what they did, they were able to put together mobile phones and web chat and online calls and landline calls and all that stuff into one package, so that you have always the same accessibility regardless of which communication medium you are using. And no other competitor had that. But still, their market share, it was going down. And the question is that why? So what we started doing is using the Process Leader framework is first to ask that how are your IT systems? And it seemed like all the IT systems are current and up to date and they were doing the things pretty much the right way they should be doing. Then we started looking into business processes and we found out that the process they have, the end-to-end process to serve the customer, is huge. It was like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of steps, and it took like 3-4 months to deliver the product from the order date until the customer has it actually in use. So it was just taking too long time. So that definitely gave us a hint that there's something wrong in that area. Then we checked the business strategy and we found out that the business strategy was functioning quite properly and it was aligned to processes and all that. But then when we went down into customer strategy, there wasn't any. Of course, there's marketing plans and communication plans and all that stuff, project plans in place, but there wasn't any proper understanding how customers communicate, why they communicate, and what do they want to use while they do that. So we had to get into the mindset of the customer, understand where are they coming from and how do they want to use the technology. So there was definitely a misalignment. And then we also looked into leadership and we were happy to notice that the senior management and middle management was really eager to make it work, and they were very eager to take some measures to make the business work better. So that was a good sign. So what we had to do now is to first create a customer strategy. We had to get into the mindset of the customer. And then the second thing was to align that customer strategy with the business processes. It took us 2 days, 2 workshop days, and we found out what the customer is thinking about. And luckily they had already modeled the process, so only thing we had to do is check the alignment of internal processes to that customer strategy. And we were able to spot that there's one specific place after the order had come in that required some improvement. So we did some improvements on that. We took some steps out, we added few steps in, and as a result of that, the calculated savings were over $1 million for the first year when the process change was done. And just to verify that our calculations were right, so we checked that, and after 2 months we did recalculations and checked the actual monetary value, and it really proved out to be way over $1 million saved in the first year, just based on the 2 days workshop. That was, I find it out that that's amazing, but that's the things you can get when you put yourself in the right mindset and you start asking the right questions. Another good example is from a retail shop. So that retail shop was not doing very well. They were actually 200,000 in loss per month. And of course, that was a serious situation because that shop wasn't that big one. They had 3 cornerstone shops, and they were not having enough customers. So we started asking the same process leader framework questions that, what's your IT, what's your processes, what's your business strategy, how is your customer strategy, what is your leadership, and all that. And we found out, and there was a little bit similar situation to telco company, but of course in a completely different context. But anyway, the customer strategy was known, but it wasn't very well thought out. But even more importantly, there was a clear misalignment between the business strategy and the business processes and the customer strategy. So those things were not in the same line. So what we did is we mapped out the whole customer journey so that we understand what is the customer's end-to-end process. And we also mapped out the internal process. And that showed us that there is some significant changes that had to be made. So we ended up actually closing down the corner shops. They were not producing enough money and they were in the wrong locations. And we ended up going into shop in shop, which is so that you have your own shop inside another shop. So that changed a lot. And then we renewed the whole web shop completely. And that only took 2 months because they were quite agile and they were really eager. The hunger was there to make the changes in place. So after a few months later, they were 400,000 in profit. And now, over a year after the project, they are even more in profit. So they are actually going up, and it saved the whole company. They have been hiring more people, and the company is doing really well because they aligned what the customers wanted and then how they delivered that. They have come up with really exciting new products also that no other competition has. And it all came from the same change of mindset. So they stopped looking the company from the inside out, from their own perspective, and they started looking the company from the outside in, from the customer's perspective. Another case we did a few months ago was for a security company, and that security company was having about 500 million per year turnover. So it wasn't the smallest company. And their problem was that they were growing very, very slowly, few percent per year, and the leadership had appetite for higher growth. So how can you grow business that is already quite big and also at the same time it's growing slowly? So we started looking into it. We understood that, all right, from the IT system perspective, the CRM was traditional basic CRM, which wasn't really helping to add value to their customers. It did contain all the basic information what CRM systems do, but what it was lacking seriously was true understanding of the customer. So we had to change the CRM so that they could start collecting information that helps them to get into the mindset of the customers. And also at the same time you need to start collecting net promoter score and other kind of information that will tell that where are we right now so that we can improve in the future. Also what we did, we started building a new customer strategy and we started mapping out the business processes from the most important parts, and we put those together, and 9 months later that company was having 20% more revenues, which is quite nice compared to their previous situation. And all that came from just looking at these different things with the customer perspective, and then just changing whatever needed to be changed. And some of those changes are really small, and they didn't have to fire anyone either. They actually had to hire more people because the sales started going so much higher after understanding the customer, improving the business processes to serve the customers better, and then coming up with a couple of very exciting product concepts that people wanted to pay for. So just to give you some tools and ideas that how could you get this kind of changes happening in your organization, we can talk about customer-centric process culture. It's very important that your business is run from the process perspective, because that will make the unstructured work to be visible and structured, and therefore easier to understand, easier to analyze, easier to monitor, and easier to optimize and improve. So you want to turn from unstructured work to structured work, have some processes in place, but from the strategy perspective, you really need to understand also the customer. So how do you build customer-centric process culture? First thing you need to do is to make the customer everyone's business in the company. I mean, there cannot be no single person that says that customer is not my business. Customer needs to be the main reason for the business, because they give the money, right? So you need to make the customer everyone's business. That might be something you want to have discussions on if you have like a team around you, so have a discussion with your team, or if you are a high leader, say top management or senior leader, think about it, have session with your other leaders, and think about that from the leadership perspective, that is the customer really everyone's business in this business or not? If it's not, then you need to change something. You need to change the culture, and then you need to tell people that we need to put the customer now in the middle of our business processes and start asking how is it going to change everything. Then the other one is that always add value to customers. That's going to change everything. There's so much non-value added work that it's unbelievable. I think personally that there shouldn't be any task or any process or any part in your business that doesn't add value to the customer, either directly giving value to customers directly, or indirectly behind the scenes creating something that can be used to create value for the customers. It's very important, because the value you add to the customers is the one they are paying for. They are not paying for all the other kind of work. Of course, you need to take care of like legal and legislation and all that kind of things, because that's part of the things customer value. They value that you do legal and ethical business. So if that requires you to do certain reports and all that, great, do them. But don't do work that is not contributing to customer value. Another thing which is related into employee engagement is that how do you reward your people? How do you pay their salaries? Of course, you need to pay whatever salary you need to pay for them, but are you giving some bonuses? If you are, why? For what reason? What do you reward your people for? I mean, do you give the reward for increasing revenues? Basically, it sounds great, but I don't think it works great. It's very difficult, especially in the big companies, to understand that how my work contributes into the revenues. If you're a salesperson, then you probably sell more. But if you're not a salesperson, what do you do that you can get more revenues? It's very difficult to know that. So for that reason, you want to reward the people for doing the right things. And that's how you connect those rewards into customer strategy and that person's work. Whatever they do has to be somehow linked to those two things. Then one more thing is proactive leadership. Robin Sharma, he says that leaders with no title are everyone in the world. So you are first of all leader of yourself. Maybe you are also leader of your family. Maybe you are a leader in your company, but you are definitely leader of yourself. So what you need to do is you have to have the mindset which says that, all right, what needs to be done? You analyze, you think, what has to change? How can I improve something? And whatever you personally can do, you go and you go after it and you get it done. If you cannot fix anything else, you can at least fix yourself. So If you are a higher leader, a top management or senior leader in your company, then that's great for you, because it means that you have resources and people around you that you can help to understand that how can we be more proactive, how can we turn from management to leadership, and how can we get people more excited about improving our processes, improving our strategies, improving everything we do. And that's how you get them on board, and then you start doing stuff together. So you need to be proactive. Don't wait something to go wrong and then you react and try to fix it. Try to be thoughtful, try to be mindful, and try to be always few steps ahead. uh, what you might want to think about is that you drive perfection but with a tolerance for failure. And I think it works really well, because you don't want to send anything bad out there. If the quality is not good, don't send it. If something is wrong, don't do it. You need to try for perfection, and it doesn't have to be like exactly correct, but it needs to be correct enough so that the customer is happy. But at the same time, you need to have some kind of tolerance for failure. And the reason is that if you don't try something new, you're not going to move forward. And if you try something new, I'm pretty sure you know that sometimes things can go bonk. They can just, they don't work. But you had to take that risk. But they calculated risks. It means that, don't be stupid and throw your money out from the window and see how wind blows that into the river. But what you want to do is to think that what are the risks I'm willing to take. This is the gain I can get, and this is the thing I can lose if I don't get it. And then if it makes sense, go ahead and try it. So don't let fear run you, but you run the fear. It is always a little bit afraid. You can get afraid for new things, but it doesn't matter really, because if you know that if that works, it's worth it. So then go for it. Just get it done. There are quite many things that people ask and tell us that they're already like customer centric. So if you think in your mind that you're already customer centric, if it's true, then congratulations, that is spot on, because then you belong into the 5% of companies that truly are customer centric. The research has shown that about 95% of the companies are not customer centric, regardless whether they claim to be or not. How do you make yourself customer centric? Is you think about all those things I said before. You put the customer on purpose in the center of your business, and you start aligning everything around the customer and customer value. Another thing that we hear quite often is that we don't have money, we don't have resources, we don't have people to do all this. It's a lot of work and it takes a lot of time and all that stuff. Well, let me ask you, do you have money to waste money? If you don't fix these things, you're going to waste money. And that money is going to go in the rubbish. It's not going to do anything good for you. Same goes for the resources. If you have people doing wrong things all the time, how's that going to help your business? And how's that going to make those people happy to work in your company and work for you? They're not. So that's why you need to see that where can you put, or where should you put resources? What is the right thing to look into? You assign people and resources for that purpose, so that they will find out how can we do things better. And when they come up with some kind of changes and strategy, then you start leading it. But you need to do that. So I don't think it's very good explanation that we don't have money, time, or resources, because I would say that you don't have time and money not to do this. You need to fix your company to get higher revenues, get more profits, decrease your costs in a healthy way, improve your customer service, and get your employees engaged. That's what you need to do. Quite many people tell me that I don't have time to improve my skills. I'm busy at work. I'm 12 hours working in the office. I don't have time to learn new things and put time in this kind of things, that I don't know if they're going to work for me or not. Well, if you have that mindset, then you are in trouble. It's going to mean that you are only used and needed as long as those skills you have currently are needed. That means that you may fall out of contemporary needs. It's just gonna mean basically that you're gonna be obsolete. That's what it's gonna mean. So you need to stay on top of what's going on. That's why you need new ideas. That's why you need to network with other people so that you can hear what other companies, other people are doing. Is there something that you could use? Is there something that will help you? And my suggestion is that don't only network with people in your industry. I mean, if you're a banker, don't speak only to bankers, because that's not going to help you. They don't probably know what you know, and you know what they know. So what you want to do is you want to speak to people from different industries, different experiences, from different backgrounds, just to get some ideas that how could you apply something in somewhere else into your business. Quite common thing that people tell me, especially if they are either middle management or employee level, is that senior management doesn't care. So it doesn't matter if I want to improve processes or if I want to make better strategies, but they don't listen to me or they don't care. I don't believe that. They wouldn't be senior management or higher management if they didn't care. And if they are, hopefully they're not going to stay there for long, because as you know, business is about generating money. So how do you generate money? Is by creating value for the customers. Your leaders, they must care about that, or otherwise that business is doomed. If it is really truly true that they don't care, then you might want to start looking for a new job or go into some other company, because basically if they don't care, they're going to go down at some point. Customers will know they don't care, and that's going to be the end of it. Also, quite common thing what people say is that I'm not responsible for processes in my company, so what can I do? You don't have to be. When I started my career, I was just basic enterprise architect. I didn't have like any official responsibilities for improving processes or any of that. But one thing I found was that people want to listen when you have something to tell them, which is going to show them that something is going to get better. So if you can say or show it, I mean, always if you can show the numbers and show what is going to change, what is the current situation, how is it going to be better in the future. So just do the numbers if you can. If you cannot do the numbers, then make a really good case on current situation versus here is the new situation, should we change? There is no change resistance really at the end of the day. There's only not enough appealing options. So if the option of staying where you are right now is more appealing than the option to go some new place or do something different or anything like that, people are not going to take it unless it's more appealing than the current situation. And that's why when there's change resistance, it usually means that those people have not been given, or they haven't realized that the new way or new version of whatever is actually better and helping them more than the old version. And maybe they are right, maybe they are not. But that needs to be evaluated and understood and communicated in the right way. So you don't really need official power to change your business. What you need is influence, so you need to know the people you need to talk to, and you need to have something worth listening to tell them. I hope that you have enjoyed these 3 videos we have sent for you, and we really would love to serve you more. And the way we can do that is we have designed Process Leader Academy, which is going to teach you more in depth and tell you more ideas and let you network with other people regarding business process management and leadership. We're gonna open it in few days, and what we have done is we have designed it so that every week you get some new idea that is going to challenge your thinking, and we're going to give you reflective questions that you can ponder over, so that what is your current situation in this thing? Is it going to help me? Is it not going to help me? At least what it will give you is ideas that is that something that you should apply? Is that something you should learn more about? Is that something that you can use in your daily work? And that's what we want to do. We want to feed you ideas that are relevant and that are helpful, and those ideas have helped a lot of other companies. Maybe they will help you, And that's really up to you to think about and go into action. Because the thing is, we can give you all the teaching in the world, we can give you a lot of ideas, but they are worth nothing unless you go out there and you start doing something. You first of all need to get those ideas, then you need to think about them. And then if they are worth, at least to your opinion, to put in use, then you just go out there and do something with it. It's amazing how even small little things can create huge results as long as you do them and you apply them. And that's what we're gonna do in a few days. We're gonna open Process Leadership Academy. I'm actually really excited about it because I know that it has taken 10 years of research and reading and hundreds of books and trying it in hundreds and hundreds of companies and testing and noticing that, okay, what works, what doesn't work, and then we share the best practices for you, and you can take that best practice, you can think about it, and then you use it if you want to use it. Alright, thank you very much for watching these videos. Please share your comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.